Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Average Woman Podcast. I am that lady, Miss Nicole, coming at you today, and today is just going to be a quick, brief conversation with you ladies. I'm not going to talk your head off like I normally do, but I could be lying, so ain't no telling. I'm just going to let the spirit take me and say what needs to be said, and I just ask that I decrease as the knowledge and wisdom increases. So today what I want to talk about is your wisdom and how to develop your wisdom. Okay, so I'm drinking some coffee, y'all. It's cold outside. I had to get something warm. Okay, so your wisdom. How do you get wisdom? How do you develop your wisdom? Okay, so wisdom is obtained through experience and growth. Okay, so you have to go through some things to learn about some things, to be able to speak about some things. Basically is how it works, okay? So when you're in the process of seeking knowledge and understanding about life and just what you're supposed to be doing, where you're going, or whatever the hell you're trying to figure out, you got to be able to reach out and get assistance, because you can only grow and discover and learn things that you know. The only way that you are going to really be able to figure out the direction, or the only way that you're going to really build yourself, is you have to experience things and you got to educate yourself. Period. You got to go, if you haven't gone through some things, you need to talk to people who have gone through some things. Okay? A wise woman continues to learn throughout her life. A woman, you should never say, I know everything, or I'm grown. You're never grown. As soon as you start thinking that you're grown, you done set yourself up for failure. You don't know everything. You haven't experienced anything. There's always room for improvement of things that you do. I used to get mad because I would like to just have a routine for myself. Just do something the same way every day, all the time. But I'm just not like that. I'm just not able to establish a routine of things that I do every day. While I do the same things every day, I don't do them the same way every day. Okay? So when you're not doing things the same way every day, it does, but you're doing the same thing. But you don't have to do it the same way every day, because that's just not necessary. As long as the things get done, there's always room for improvement. At least that's, from what I've seen. I don't know, maybe I'm just, I just can't do the same thing the same way every day. Well, maybe my job, we do that, but the calls and everything, they different. So, but you have to be able to move and flex and switch up the game. And, you have to be able to learn, and you have to be willing to be taught. Thirst for knowledge. You will be surprised at the things that you could learn, because an empty wagon make a lot of noise. So when you don't have a whole lot of knowledge and you haven't experienced nothing and you really don't know nothing, you reel just all over the place. And you think that because you think a certain way that it's okay for you to think that way, and people just have to, deal with what you think. And it's never that way. You can think whatever you want to think, but you're wrong in thinking that way. And the buck stops right there. Period. And no one is really going to entertain extraness just because you can't figure it out. You want to argue back and forth and want to change the truth into a lie, which is straight wicked. You can't change the truth into a lie, ladies. You have to be able to embrace the truth and build your wisdom on truth. That's very important. And we'll be right back after these messages from our sponsors. Thanks for listening to my podcast. If you ever wanted to have your very own podcast, I can tell you how to set it up right now. Anchor is an awesome app that's free to download. You can use its creation tools to edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast so that you can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more other platforms. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenerships. And also, it has everything that you need in one place. All you need to do is go download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. I look forward to hearing your new podcast any day now. Thanks. And now back to the show. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Average Woman Podcast. I am that lady, Miss Nicole, coming at you today, talking about building your wisdom on truth. I was about to say building your truth on wisdom, building your wisdom on truth. Like, you have got to understand that facts matter, the truth matters, everything in this world matters. The things that you are doing at this very moment will affect you 5 to 10 years, 10 minutes down the road. So you have to make sure that you're doing the right things. You're setting yourself up to be successful in the long run. Okay? No one is going to believe you when you don't know what the hell you're talking about. And they know that nobody's going to take you serious. You're going to be a joke and you're going to be dismissed. Now, if you are someone that want to be taken seriously, if you want to be respected, if you care, about your womanhood, which you absolutely should, because womanhood is a very serious thing, and we're going to talk about that on my next podcast. You have to take the truth. You have to deal with the truth. You have to deal with the truth. You have to be honest with yourself, and you have to deal with what comes with that honesty. You are not the nicest person in the world. You are not the most beautifulest person in the world. You're not the slimmest person in the world. You're not the fattest person in the world. You're not the smartest person in the world. You're not the dumbest person in the world. But you are who you are. And whatever that is, you have to build that. You have to accept that and build on that. You understand? I was saying it. I said it many a time my whole life. Like, I'm just big boned. I'm not fat. I'm not overweight. I'm just big boned because, that's what my mom and them taught me. So my daddy big. I'm supposed to be big too. That's a lie. I don't have to be his size. He was unhealthy. I don't want to be that way. So, unfortunately, it took me a long time to figure it out. But I know that I know what's better now. So I can make adjustments so that I could add some more years to my life, period. And without your health, your life really isn't, you need your health. It's very important. It's very important to have people around you that can care for you and that you can care, or you being able to care for yourself is very important. So, your health is everything. It determines you being able to work. It determines you being able to get out and move around with your kids and everything. It's everything. So we have to remember that and build on a foundation of reality. You got to remember reality. We all live in reality. The reality that we see on social media and tell lies to your vision TV, that's not your reality. You don't have Pookie and Ray Ray, driving the sports cars and all this other stuff in your area. I don't, but I do got, John Brown, who lived down the block, who, looking at me like he interested and, just a humble man trying to have something in life. Yeah, I want that one. I want that one because that one, he has his feet stern on the ground. I notice I didn't say anything about his occupation because his occupation really doesn't matter. Because truth be told, men want to be able to take care of their families. So the money situation should never be an option when you're in your selection and meeting a man. And that's just, to even consider that as like, that's like, if you don't want a man to consider your flaws, then don't consider their flaws. That's just period. What does money have to do with anything when it comes down to a relationship? Now, I understand you women who make 6 figures and y'all doing all this here, you're doing great things. But at the end of the day, it's just not a lot of men. It's not a lot of men on your level. So if it's not a lot of men on your level, and you think that your level is like above reproach because you make a certain amount of money, you fooling yourself. Because all you doing is putting a high price on a car when cars are subjected to the consumer. I don't care how much you price that car for. The question is, am I willing to buy it? And if men don't see the worth behind the vehicle, they're not going to pay the price for it. And we'll be right back after these messages. Hey everybody, and welcome back. And today we are talking about building your wisdom on truth. Listen, you can't make it through school telling lies. You can't make it through school making things up as you go along, changing facts that you've been taught that's written in books. You can't do that. So don't think that if you can't do that in school, don't think that you can do it in real life, because it doesn't apply. And anytime that you try to change the truth into a lie, you being wicked. I'm just gonna let you know that's a very wicked attribute, a wicked trait. Because how can you change facts to what you want it to be based on how you feel? It's for one, it's deceitful, and for two, the truth always comes out in the end, no matter what. Okay, so don't lie. Don't ignore facts, because facts matter. I think that if we really understood and try to really understand our society and our history, I think that it would make us cleave to our men just a little bit more. I think that it would make us appreciate our men just a little bit more, because we've been through a lot and our men have been through a lot. And I always stress that, is that we want everybody to understand the black woman is the most unprotected this. And the reason why she is so unprotected is because she got no man. That's why you're so unprotected and why you're so vulnerable, because you are the only being. You never hear a tiger go mess with a lion and say that it don't want his own lion. It don't. God made 2 of everything. So he made a black man for a black woman, and so on. A male dog for a female dog, a male cat for a female cat. And anytime one of the offspring decide that they want to be out of place, it throws the whole thing off, and that is, detrimental to our survival. Everybody loved Big Mama back in the day, because Big Mama used to be home all the time cooking and making us laugh and teaching us right from wrong and disciplining us when we out of order. Like, you are the new Big Mama. You are the new Big Mama. You are the one who was supposed to carry on those customs and those understandings and teach them to your daughters. You supposed to carry that stuff on, but you just was like, you heard what your mama said. Your mama was like, nah, be an independent woman, go out here and get you a job, and basically just lied to you. Because Big Mama ain't never said that. Big Mama main thing was family and loving one another and being there for your siblings and helping each other. Not tearing each other down and lying, cheating, and stealing and having all kind of fornication all over the place. That's not what Big Mama taught us. Big Mama taught you to keep your legs closed and your mouth closed, and to listen, and to go to church and believe in something. And the further we get away from Big Mama's teachings, the more corrupt we become as a people. We all need to go back and remember. And if we didn't have our grandmamas, we need to find people who are teaching and delivering those values back to us, because that's what we need to make changes. We need a standard. As I was talking in my previous about class, you have to have a standard for yourself. And anything you do in life, you have to have some type of knowledge and intelligence about yourself to carry on a conversation. These men, I mean, you don't know anything. You don't know anything, and everything is based on what you feel. Don't nobody care about what you feel. The world does not care that we feel a certain type of way about the rising oil prices. It's not going to do any good, because the world does not drive on feelings, y'all. It drives on facts. And don't change the truth into a lie, because once again, that's wicked. Okay? So we'll be right back after these messages. Hey everybody, this is the conclusion of the matter in regards to, building your wisdom on truth. And that's what we're talking about today. We're not going to keep lying to ourselves and pretending like it's cool that you can stand in the mirror and can't see your cooter because your stomach in the way. Like, it's not cool. We got to do something about that. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be able to stand in the mirror and be able to see your whole naked body and it not be all out of whack or you hiding from yourself because you don't like what you see. See, we have to take off the fakeness and put on the realness to get to the truth. I can't just walk around acting like certain things don't exist and expecting to have good results and calling myself a lady, because a lady don't dwell in fakeness. You got to keep it real with yourself. And when you keep it real with yourself, man, that's a sexiness that you can't even understand. When you got to be real. Men, my husband told me, say, if back in the days when I used to date a girl, if she had a wig on, I just turned my head till she put a wig back on. You know what I'm saying? And that was the wigs that didn't even have the glue and all that other stuff. They were just slip-on wigs. So men see who we are, even though we want them to believe that we're something better than what we are, which we're not. We are just regular women just like them. And the only difference between them and us is that we can sit up here and try to, you got to look like this and you got to look like that and you got to be like this and you got to be like that. Because the men, most of them, they not going to go get no hair pieces and put on foundation to cover up their flaws, or cut some paper up and put it in $2 and try to flex like they got a lot of money, or stick a cucumber down their pants and none of that. They not trying to be all, they're not trying to do that. That's how we do. We the ones who get down like that. But we want people to, once we have on our costume and we feeling good about ourselves, we want people to ignore the fact that clearly we have on a costume, because black folks' hair, baby edges don't lay down like that once we become adults. But you want people to believe that you got blonde hair and you got baby hairs and you got these long, luxurious eyelashes. You want people to believe that that's you and make an accommodation for you and accept you that way. But when it comes to us dealing with our men, like, we don't have no tolerance. Like, you ugly, he ugly. Well, I mean, if you took that wig off your head and some of that makeup off, and I'm sure you're not a 10 either. We have very misconstrued conceptions, and we all need to come back down to just like you say, ranking ourselves realistically, because all of us is not a 10. I'm sorry. All of us are not 10s. Present company included. I don't know nothing about being no 10. I just know about being Miss Nicole. You know what I'm saying? And there ain't no man asking me to be perfect. There ain't no man never asked me to fart some fairy dust or any of that love magical shit. He just said, you just be straight with me, I'm gonna be straight with you. And that's all you could give a brother. Just give him your realness and be straight with him. Let him be as vulnerable with him and allow him to get to know you, and don't be crazy. I'm telling you, that's all you got to do to keep a man. And you gotta be in order. You gotta cover yourself up. Don't no man want no hoe. You gotta desexualize yourself, because if you really interested in a man, A man is not going to pick you up based on what you're wearing. If you out in the club and you out here putting out that whole spirit, now that you get what you attract. Because if you putting out there, I just want to screw, that's what you're going to attract. Guys that just want to screw you. So, I don't make those rules. That is something that that's the way it's been before time. So I didn't even make that up. But when you put that when you put all your ass and titties out there for a man, they gonna want some of that, and if you're willing to give it up, they're gonna take it. But please don't think that constitutes a relationship or a callback the next day. And really, it's shameful. It's shameful. That they call it the walk of shame for a reason, because it is shameful to be bouncing from a man's bed, one man's bed, to the next man's bed, to the next man. It's shameful, because as a woman, the reason why we can't really get a business, we can't have the things that we need, is because we too busy out here hoeing, 304ing, like there's no tomorrow, And you can call it whatever you want to call it. If you're sleeping with multiple guys, that's hoeing. Because that's just what hoes do. Yeah, ain't no respectable woman is going to be out here in these streets sleeping with multiple men, having multiple partners, knowing that AIDS and gonorrhea and herpes and all this stuff is true. But that's what happens when you just try to avoid what the facts of life is and how things really work. You cannot do that. Your wisdom has to be built on truth, and you have to just accept the truth for what it is and do what's right. Always do what's right. And like I said, some of you don't give a damn what's right. You're going to do what you want to do because Jesus loves the little children and all that other stuff that you lie to yourself and make yourself believe. If that's how you feel, then that's fine with me. Not going to try to change your mind on anything. But to you ladies that do want better, you gotta start listening to women that's going to tell you the truth. You're going to have to start making some decisions based on actual facts and not feelings. You're going to have to remember that you have children at home and you have people depending on you. So certain moves and things that you got going on, you got to chill on that BS, because you have responsibilities and you have the people depending on you. And when you have people depending on you, you got to show up and show out for them, especially when they don't have nobody else but you. And you mothers, you should be, that should be a no-brainer. That should be a no-brainer. So I am done talking your ear off. I will see you guys next time. Please tune in, tap in to my YouTube channels. Make sure you like and subscribe. Follow, support your girl. I need all that. If you got anything you want me to talk about, feel free to send me a message. queenfromcreation@gmail.com. I'm here and ready to support. So I'll talk to you ladies. Shalom.